minus Inji.
Hello. Yes. Welcome to GaM session week 12. Yes.
It's 11.2 now.
11.2. That's what
yes.
we're doing. We're doing like 0.2. Okay.
Yes.
I like it.
11.1,
Okay.
11.2. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. So I'm Gisella. I'm from Utah, and this is my beautiful friend Madhurima from India who wants to run away. So we're gonna get into it.
Yes.
What do you gotta say? Bring it all in. Douse us.
Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Do you want to hear, like, I had 2 revelations today, and I was like, do you want to hear the good one first or the bad one first?
Ooh, I'm terrible at this because I never know. Let's do the bad one first.
I knew it, I was like, she's gonna say the bad one first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Okay. All right. So all right. So for anyone, okay, I won't even mention the name of the drama so that it doesn't spoil anyone, but I was watching an episode and since the very beginning, I was like, this dude is gonna die, right? And I'm just like, oh no. Because I was like, you know what? I never get attached to characters because I'm like, you never know how they're gonna die or when they're gonna die or if they're gonna die while I am watching this show or while I'm reading this book. And while I do have fun being that writer who kills off the favorite characters, I don't enjoy being on the opposite end of the journey where I'm like, but yeah, like I could see that this dude was going to die because he was like suddenly enjoying life and doing all these things, and I was like, he's gonna
like,
die.
Oh no, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, like they showed him. Okay, they showed a very small scene in the last episode, and then they just went all out. Like they showed him going into the doctor's office and not like they didn't show what happened in there, but suddenly he was like this lively dude, and I was like, oh shit, here we go again. And like, I am not someone who enjoys death as much as I would like to. And honestly, now that I think about it, the entire day today at some level or another, we have been talking about death. And yeah, I mean, while I've had a pretty productive day, I'm also like freaked out because too much of good stuff is not good. So I was like, let me run away. Because I have such okay, so I have a trauma connected to death. Thanks to me kind of seeing my dad pass away in front of me. So like it was a very freaky experience for me, honestly. And while I was trying to be all, like, yes, let me take care of my family at that point of time and do all this stuff. And I'm fidgeting around. So like that's why you're not seeing me look right into your eyes because I can't do this any other way. But yeah, I was like, yo, I knew that this guy was going to die, and I was like, this gives me really good content ideas, like because I was making a content on how you should like constantly be living life and not wait for something really bad to happen before you start to realize that, oh shit, we have to live life. Like I was talking about how we need to waste more time instead of being productive all the time. And like I couldn't make this reel for some reason. I couldn't make the reel, I couldn't make the video. I was like, maybe there is something that's kind of giving me a pause. Maybe there is something that's like preventing me from writing. Maybe there is something more that I can add on to this, right? And this thing happened, and I wanted to make this reel, and I was telling you about this right before we started. Like there's something really controversial and really important but messed up that I want to talk about, and I don't know if I should do it or not. And you're like, yeah, do it. It's like, okay, but yeah, I mean, it's just weird. I feel the way that I've been feeling about death lately is that at points I am in a scenario where I'm like, yes, let's go. I mean, I can't do much after I die, right? Like, what can I do afterwards? Like, I'm dead. There is no point to it after that point. But I don't know why. I was pretty good. I was like doing all my defense mechanism stuff. I was like, I'm not even attached to this dude. I don't even care. Like, yeah, everyone's gonna die. And I was being all philosophical and spiritual. And then suddenly out of the blue, it just hit me. And I feel like a lot of people who watched the previous episode that we were doing could see that I was not 100% present in the session that we were doing, because I was constantly being like, death, like, no, 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 come back, like, death, no, 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 come back. And so I don't know, I have such weird conflicting feelings about it, and I feel like it's important to have conflicting feelings about something. Like, it's never normal to accept death for what it is. And there is this really famous line from the doctor where he goes, from Doctor Who, where the doctor goes, he changes into new clothes, into more fashionable clothes when he's dying. He has like less than 30 minutes to live. And the lady who poisons him is like, did you really stop to change? Like, why did you waste time? And he's like, you should always waste time when you don't have much of it left. And that's just like, I get it, I get all this stuff psychologically. I've been accepting it. And then bam, this person comes in and the universe like, do you really accept it though? Do you really, really accept the fact that you're going to die at some point of time? And I'm just like, no, I don't want to accept it. And it's okay. So there are so many conflicting feelings about it, and I'll stop after like a minute. But for me, there are two conflicting feelings, right? One is I don't want to die because there is so much I want to experience in life, which kind of connects to the other revelation that I had today. And two is that I don't want to leave the people I love behind, because I know what kind of damage it does to people that really truly love you, what kind of damage you leaving does to people. And I honestly don't want to do that to them. And it's not even like an excuse for me to live on forever. It's almost like I don't want to do that to them, right? Like, I don't want to be that person who does that to them. And there is this, oh god, okay, so there is this very beautiful song by Halsey. I'll attach a link to it below, okay? But she writes this one line, and when she realized that she was pregnant, she wrote this line that, I would rather you see me die than the other way around, or something like that. Yeah, it was like, I'd rather you see me die than me see you die. And I got that, right? Like, I got that feeling of her wanting to protect her baby and giving her life to the baby, so that even if she doesn't live, this baby can live on. And I'm in that state where I'm like, I would give my entire being away to people if that helped them. But I also don't want to leave them in my absence. And it's not even like an egotistical thing. Like, I know people are powerful enough to move on from deaths. But it's so, so weird. And I'm just feeling like all kinds of emotions and whimsical shit right now. And all that happy feeling that I've been feeling all day long has just disappeared into this. Oh my god, this dude is going to die. It's going to make me cry. Like, why? That rhymed. Yeah.
That's an intense topic there, buddy.
Yes, it is. Which is
Yes,
exactly
it
why I
is.
wanted to run away. And I kind of knew that you were going to ask me to talk about the bad one first. I was like, let me just tell Gisella that I need to run, and then we don't get into this topic at all, because we have spoken about death a few times on the GaM sessions. And honestly, it's kind of like what you were saying, right? Like, it's the patterns, it's the cycles. I feel this every time, and it's like a higher version of that feeling. But that feeling of absolute dread, and that feeling of, oh no, I'm going to lose this person who's really good at what they do, and I'm going to lose them. Or, oh no, like, honestly, I've been feeling this all over the week in scatters, and I'm just like, yes, freaked the hell out. But yeah, you go for it. Take it away, boo. Give it
Oh,
away.
I feel like I could go so many directions with this.
Mm. Yeah, because
Um,
I didn't put it properly. I know I didn't articulate it properly. I was just like in my feels. I was like, what am
which
I
is totally
saying?
fine. I feel like
Yeah.
it's hard when you're in the dread of an emotion, it's hard to articulate and use all of the tools and use all of the fun big words that we've learned. Because we're in that fear state. We're in that moment where we don't know what to do and our body kind of panics and it's terrified. And I agree that to some degree that it's important to have those conflicting or like contrasting feelings where it's like you don't have to want to die to be okay with it or to understand that it's natural. Like you don't have to be like, I'm ready, you know, to
you know, like that,
you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's beautiful that I feel like I like the 2 points that you made where I like the way the second way you said it, I don't want to leave people in my absence. And I think to me, I don't believe there's such thing as leaving someone. Like physically, yes. But to me, anytime I lose someone and they move on from this realm, it's almost as if I can feel them more. And I feel like in some way, sorry, I'm like thinking really fast right now. But my brain was just like, would that be like a transactional interaction then? Like transactional relationship where you're like, well, if I can't provide to them, then I am nothing. And yeah, ooh, she's sassy.
See,
Okay.
This is what I was kind of hoping
Afraid
to.
of?
I was like, you're just gonna bash me. I know.
You did say I was gonna bash. People came here to watch 11.2 to see you get bashed, and this is me bashing you lovingly with a soft stick.
Yeah. As something as a soft stick. Okay, oh my god, we need to talk. We need to get the crocheting plushies or stuff like that because I feel like we do this all the time. I really like nice support plushie to kind of hug and
do you
like,
need we can pause this and go get plushies. I
don't have any.
You don't have it?
I mean, it's
no,
I do have like soft toys, but they're all so dirty right now, and like because we were shifting around, we packed it away, so it's like a real struggle to get it without like ending up coughing the entire episode. So I'm just gonna hug my bottle of water and
just hope for the best. Okay.
Yes.
Coffee. I want a pillow though.
Yes.
I got a pillow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that's what came up for me. I was like, would that be transactional where like you don't, it's almost like, and I obviously like I'm not accusing you of anything.
No, go for it. I know.
Shut up. But yeah.
Go for
it.
I'm
just saying, like in general, if we believe that truly, that when we leave, people are like screwed, right? Like they're monumentally screwed if I'm not there.
Yeah.
Then everything that you provide is so people can depend on you. And that's a way for you to keep people around, is to keep them dependent. And I know Mother Nima's not feeling okay with this subject right now.
No, go for it.
And I know that at the same time, we both agree that in the work we do, let's talk business now. In the work that we do, our job is to not want more clients, more students, because we want people to understand how to be self-sufficient in living, in the way they care for themselves, in their emotional intelligence. We want to make sure that everyone eventually is born and has a tool belt attached to them with how they can learn how to process life in their own way that is functionable and efficient and effective and like good for them.
True.
Healthy. You could say healthy.
Yeah, healthy.
So that's like maybe this dread, this intense, overwhelming emotion is coming up for you now because it's an old belief where you are practicing something different. So there's a lot of doubt, maybe, because I believe doubt is the immune system of a belief that says, like, well, if you die, they're gonna, like, no one's gonna be okay. And I feel like at that point you could say yes, and I hope they will be. I hope that I am able to provide enough light now that when I do pass, they don't sit around and say, what did Madhurima do? Because all of a sudden everything went to shit. Like apparently she just held the whole world together. I want them to look at me leave, like watch me leave and say, Madhurima left this world brighter and everything functions better without her because of her. Because when she was here, she did the work to make sure everyone's life was easier. We didn't keep her around because we were dependent on her. We kept her around because she reminded me of my light. You know what I mean?
I do. And I don't want to say I hate it because it was the necessary calling out for me, and I feel like that's why we do the stuff that we do. To each other and outside in the coaching realm as well. And yeah, I mean, I feel like subconsciously I've always had that need. Like, not consciously, it's not me making conscious effort to have people be dependent on me. It's the subconscious little things that, yeah, like some days when I'm feeling aggravated by my family, I'm just like, one day if I don't wake up, they'll realize how much work I do in the house, like how many little things I do, and not wake up as in dead, but like wake up as in get up later than I do get up. Like, they'll realize how much stuff I do in this house, and they will realize the importance and impact I have on them. And it's almost me being a bit, like sassy, and me being like all dramatic and stuff. But yeah, honestly,
that's called bitter.
Yeah.
I love you. It's okay.
Yeah, I know.
You're allowed to have these emotions.
I know. I see. Honestly, I knew you would do this so to me, so I was like ready for it. Yeah, I don't mind. I need this. Honestly, I need this as much as I hate it. I need it because it's going to help me get better. And I was shit. This connects so well to the second thing that I was going to talk about. But before we jump into that, yeah, I just wanted to say it is something that I feel like all of us by default make people want us. Like, I feel like making impact, there are two things in it, right? Like, one is making impact for others, and two, because we want others to recognize the impact we are making, if that makes sense. Right?
I like that. Say that again, if you can.
Making impact is for two things. Please correct me if I'm wrong, whatever I said. But one is to make the impact we want to make so that other people can get, I'm butchering words, aren't I? Other people can get better from that impact, and two, because we want other people to recognize the impact that we're making on them. Yeah, that's heavy, honestly, because I just realized how much I do that subconsciously. Just that need of being wanted, need of being loved, the need of being seen and of being heard, and of recognizing the impact that we create in the world, which is why I'm also a sucker for praise, because I'm always like, tell me how much impact I made in your life. Like, that's why when people give me testimonies, I'm all over the floor in a puddle of goo. I'm just like, yeah, I did that. But yeah, I feel like honestly, I have been like that, and it is somewhat connected to my dad's passing away as well, is because after he passed away, there was a lot of me feeling like me doing a lot of things for the very first time, like making a really huge online transaction so that I could continue studying my final semester in the college, and taking care of bills, taking care of all this stuff. And a lot of things did happen after he passed away. I honestly feel like if he was here, I would be doing something completely different. Like, me being in coaching would have come like 10-15 years after the point that I am in right now, right? Like, we wouldn't even have met G, honestly. i'd be like I'd be off doing something else in the world before realizing that, oh, this is the thing that I want to do in life. um so yeah, a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, but I feel that need of again, coming back to, taking care and being taken care of is like always being that person who takes care of others, so much so that my entire purpose in life is to take care of other people. Not completely, but subconsciously I do the work I do so that somewhere deep down people know that I'm taking care of them, that I am taking care of them. uh this leaves such a bitter taste in my mouth.
Mm.
Ugh. I like
So
shivers go all over me. I was like, ugh.
let it out. This is
Yeah,
good. That kind of stuff means that your body's like, letting go of that
yeah.
specific emotion. Um, 1 second. I'm just writing something. I think it's important to realize that even in the way that we speak,
Hmm.
we almost imply that there has to be a transaction. And I don't think that it, like you said, it's very subconscious, it's unconscious because it's been ingrained in how we speak to people and ingrained in how we participate in this specific system of life. So it's not that, like, I was actually talking to my friend Sam about this yesterday, and she was like, when someone says you're smart, what does smart mean? And when you define it, does that mean that that's the only reason they're keeping you around? Is that a transactional interaction? And I was like, dang, like I didn't even think about it like that. Like when you give someone a compliment, are you complimenting them because they make you feel brighter or because they're giving you something? And that's transactional. And I feel like so many of our like conversations and interactions in this life, specifically with how we've been taught to communicate, is transactional. So we want people to want us. We want to keep people dependent on us because that way we feel wanted, because we don't want anybody that can't provide a benefit towards us, because that's how we've been taught to be productive as a human in society. And I think it's important to remember that you are not broken. You are responding to a broken system.
Yeah.
And while there are things in your life right now pointing to like, hey, this is leaking, what do we do about it? You could say, let's run away. I don't want to deal with that. Like, I don't want to look at it.
Same.
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you could just be like, no.
Yeah.
Or you could say, I need to fix this immediately. Or you could say, this is okay. It's okay to be scared of death because you want to experience life. That's literally like, that is the ego, which we need to make sure we're still alive. Yeah. Like we need the will to live.
Yeah.
Obviously, like that's nice to have.
Yeah.
And also we can see where we're showing up in a way that makes other people feel as if they need to prove themselves in order to be part of our lives.
Yeah.
And so like I'm not with you there 24/7, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So I can't like tell you like what to do in this scenario, but I can let you know that in some way someone may have either left and never forgave them for you having to step into that role, or you're scared and you did something, like you need to forgive yourself, or you need to realize where it is that you're maybe doing that to someone else, right? Where you're holding them to transactions rather than to their actual worth, which is immense. So I think it's important to be easy on yourself, because death is hard.
Death is hard.
Death is hard. I feel like I have more of an issue with like, I feel like I don't have an issue with it, but like growing old seems scarier to me than dying.
Makes sense.
Which is interesting. But like, I don't, because that's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
Growing old is not guaranteed. Death is guaranteed. I get that regardless. Pretty excited.
I know.
But like,
I hear you. And honestly, you were speaking about transactions. I was just like thinking about this. Like this thought came into my mind. Like, I love taking care of other people, and I have that ideal of being taken care of, but I also know that after a few days I'd just be like, let me just do this for you. Let me just do this for you. Let me just take care of you, right? And then just when I was thinking that, you were like, I feel like oftentimes this is all transactional. Like we make it transactional, and I was like, okay, she's coming from my subconscious thought as well. Like, all right, I guess you're doing this.
Get
Yeah.
bashed, bro.
Why I'm getting so mad right now. Like, as I'm almost craving, like, let me go get a drink so that I can wallow in self pity. But I'm like, no, this, I need to work on this. And honestly, for all of you all seeing this, you could see me, okay, shivering and almost like shaking and moving a lot. And I feel like this needs to be said. This is like a stress response, and this is a release of that stress that we tend to hold up. I'm going to make this into an educational moment so that I still look smart, and like, again, you
You
guys
can get
want
there. I
me.
can get there.
Yeah, yeah. But honestly, this is this thing, right? When we are in danger, we fight, flight, or we fight them, we
Oh,
run away, or we freeze, right? That's a reaction. A lot of times, though, our body is used to freezing up, and hence it has that tremors and those goosebumps and all of that happen after a point of time. But as adults, we are also almost like, we can show weakness and vulnerability, so we don't even know how much of that freezing we have been holding on to, like how many times we have freezed, we have just bottled that up. So it's really cool to see reactions like this of the other person, like especially in a coaching container. If you see them just like tremoring and like getting rid of that energy, you know that something unlocked in them. And honestly, that's why, G, I am so grateful for what you shared with me, because it makes me feel and recognize a lot of the work that I want to do, and a lot of the work that I want to see myself doing. And it honestly connects to the second point that I was going to make, the second revelation, which was, as I don't know how this came up. I was watching a reel and they were speaking about how the followers of Buddha were never basically meant to stay in one place. They were meant to travel the world, receive enlightenment, and they either die after that, or they go ahead and preach what they receive, right? And I was telling my mom, like, I want to do this. I want to travel the world. I have this dream of, like, having just one suitcase of clothes and going to a city, renting a bike, or a scooty or something like that, and traveling around the city, learning as much as I can from it for a couple of months, and then moving to the next city, right? Traveling like that. I love doing that. I wanted to do that for a pretty long time, and that was something that I wanted to do before my dad passed away as well. But after he did, obviously responsibilities and all that stuff. Not that I'm shy of it. I'm glad that that came my way, because I could take care of my family. Again, transactional stuff. Need to make note of that so that I can cry about it later on tonight. Um, but yeah, I was telling you, like, let's all get an RV, and then you and mom and my brother and you know Koshu Moshu, our dogs, we can all go together. And then my mom was like, why do you want us to go with you? It's your journey. Do it your, like, I think, we will have a lot of fun if we do this. Like, no, what if Tushar, my brother, wants to do something else? Or what if I want to do something else? Do your journey on your own. It's your journey. Take it on your own, because I don't want you regretting, or I don't want you thinking that because we were there, you couldn't ever go on this path. Like, we were the ones holding you back.
mhm.
So go and do it if you want to do it. And it's like, no, like, I had all these other excuses come up. And one of the excuses was like, what if I go to a city and then, I die again? Honestly, boo, I kid you not. If you are with me ever, like, if you are inside um the same space that I am, you will see me mentioning death at least once or twice or more than that every week, depending on the mood I am in. And my worst case scenario is death, which is why I treat it so lightly and yet so seriously. And then, I was just like, what, this makes a lot of sense. And I feel like I need to get into it. I need to understand that I am making people subconsciously depend on me, and I'm dependent on the feeling that I want them to be dependent on me. Like I need that. It's like that rush of I don't know, adrenaline of like, yes, people need me. I'm still relevant in this world. And like I'm not disappearing. I'm not. God, this is heavy. I want to cry. But yeah,
You're allowed to cry.
I am going to cry a lot after this end. Don't worry. I'm gonna finish
You're
doing
like,
my
oh,
work, and there
be
will
no
be.
shortage of tears.
Yeah. I am going to do it. I'm going to honestly sit down and cry. And if I can't cry, I'll watch PS I Love You and I'll cry a bunch about it.
Dude, I've like been thinking about that movie. Like I want to watch it because when I watched it, I was like so young. I didn't like
I
care.
always cry when I watch that movie, which is why I watch that movie a lot.
Does he
Especially
like
when
to cry?
yeah, I mean, like there are times when I want to cry, but I physically can't cry. Like I can't make myself to cry, so I sit down. I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this, and then I watch that movie, and then I cry a bunch about it, and like, snot and tears and all that stuff. And
A
it's a
good
great
cry,
way.
a sob, a
Mm,
sob.
yeah,
That's what I use. I
yeah.
use sobs to like get things out. One time I was like sobbing and laughing because I was excited that I finally cried.
Yay, let's
I
go.
was like, that makes so much sense. And I was laughing, but my body was like physically crying and I was
Yeah.
laughing. It was weird. I was like, I'm glad no one's home. I'm like in the middle of my living room, like in fetal position, like sobbing and crying and laughing. And I'm sure everyone would think I'm insane.
We are insane. For all you amazing human beings watching this right now, I just want to say, no matter what happens, a good cry can fix it.
I was gonna say we are insane.
We are insane.
But yes, a good cry can fix it.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because there's an abundance of chemicals in your body. And if you keep the chemicals in your body, then those chemicals can affect your body in a specific way, whether it be like weight or trauma or energy or whatever.
Yeah.
And when you cry, you allow those chemicals to quite literally come out of your body.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And those
that's why I
tremors
like
that
to
I was
cry.
talking about as well, like when
Tremors,
you're
yeah.
honestly sobbing, you're like, you feel that body move like
It's like a purge.
Yeah.
You're purging this emotion out. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes.
For all you amazing human beings out there, comment what's your favorite movie to cry on.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, we'll have a cry party.
Cry too.
Yeah, I would love that. PS I Love You is one that gets me out every single time. I honestly want to.
Encanto.
Okay, it doesn't make me cry, but it gets me feeling a lot of emotions for sure.
It got me so
you.
good the first
I
first time.
you that when I watched this, you guys, I was like, Gisella, have you seen Encanto? Like, no.
I was
have you
like,
seen Encanto? No. Have you seen Encanto? Like, yes. And she started telling me this. I was like, okay, she's seen Encanto.
Dude, I like looked over at Marley and I was just like sobbing and I was like, cool. I was like, awesome. It's just me. She almost didn't cry, but like till the very end.
Yeah.
The very end. And she was like, damn it, I thought I made it. And I was like, no. We got you.
No. Yes, I love making people cry as well, which makes me feel very psychotically good. And again, makes me feel needed. God damn it, Gisella.
It's okay to want to feel needed and like wanted.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important to remember that desires are delicious and you're allowed to have them, and that's what are literally the guiding force of like it is the force of creation.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to get it on that before we finish up.
Yep.
Yes. So the balance of feminine and masculine energy, which is within everybody.
Yeah.
And I feel like at some point the feminine energy can be very suffocating. And the masculine energy can be very forceful.
Yeah.
And when we are in our fear survival response, we resort to those kinds of energies. We want things faster, closer. We want to be in control of them so we understand how we can survive moving forward, transactional. And we want to move to a place, which is a great time to actually talk about this because tomorrow is the most energetically balanced day of the year. Thursday the 11th.
Yeah.
I think that
Yes.
was last week, considering this is 11.2, right?
Mm.
But the balance that we're looking for is being able to understand how to nurture and guide ourselves and others without taking over. It's so easy to see someone and you know that they're going to fail, and do you say something or do you not? And I always say, if they're doing it safely, don't say anything, because they're going to learn, and if they want help, they will ask.
They will ask.
They will ask, or they'll bring it up later, and you can be like, well, you could have asked me, do you want help now?
Yeah.
And this is the way that people learn on their own, and that you can also provide that net, saying, if you need anything, if you have any questions, I'm here, but I'm not going to go in there and tell you that you don't know how to do something. And a lot of boyfriend girlfriend movies, like you see that where like the boyfriend tries to like do everything for her, and it's like infuriating, because it makes you feel like you can't do anything for yourself, and the second you lose that person, you realize you were dependent on them because they overtook all of the jobs that you were doing on your own. So I think this is a great time to always check in, see where you're imbalanced, and realize how you can show up for yourself and others as a nurturing and guiding force, rather than controlling and suffocating.
Yeah, I honestly love that. I feel like what this helped me realize was how much I subconsciously create that dependence energy, which I honestly don't want to see in anyone. Like, again, like you were saying earlier, as coaches, we don't want to see this happen. As coaches, our entire aim is to make them self-sufficient so that they are not constantly reaching out. I mean, not that it's bad to ask for help, but be self-sufficient enough and be self-aware enough that you got this, and move, like, make a decision, make an action, rather than just constantly be asking for awareness. Make an action on the awareness that you are already aware of. um and yeah, I mean, I feel like that's why I'm always so excited and scared, but still excited of when you call me out on stuff, is because it makes me feel aware of, oh, this is something that I have been doing and I didn't realize it, and it gives me an opportunity to learn from it and find out that balance, because again, it's all about balance. I mean, it's not bad to feel desired. I want to feel desired all the time, and I want others to feel desired. Like, that is again something that I like to do. I want other people to know that they are being seen, they're being heard, they are being taken care of, but honestly, not to the point where I'm doing things for them, right? Like, again, not to tip the scale, but be in balance. So it gives me a really great opportunity to kind of find out that balance. And I'd like to end the episode with that as well. It's just go out there. If creating dependence is something that you tend to do subconsciously, this is a great opportunity for you to work on it. If it is not something that you like to do, find out what is that one thing that kind of irks you, and ask for help from me or from Gisela or from anyone else around you, and they will help you figure out what's going on, because you need conversations like this to kind of evolve and grow. Yeah, so yeah, you want to sign us
I
off,
agree.
because yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Thank you
yes.
guys so much for joining us today. I feel like this session was beautifully heavy and light
Heavy.
at the same time. Yeah, I feel like we learned a lot about ourselves and each other, and I think it was a beautiful time. So thanks for sticking around, and I hope to see you next time.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for sticking around. Yay, let's go.